I'm happy to be joined by Dr. Jessica Flynn, sports medicine doctor, contributor, football coach, and analyst. Dr. Flynn, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, of course, Mac Jones has been diagnosed with a pretty severe high ankle sprain, according to reports, after suffering the injury on the Patriots' final offensive play against the Ravens on Sunday. Dr. Flynn, based on your experience and based on the information that's available to us, how long could Mac Jones be sidelined?
Well, the video and all reports sort of point to a significant high ankle injury. And those injuries are really variable in professional athletes. It depends on the severity of the injury and then also the type of player that, you're going to see someone like Saquon Barkley have a longer recovery period than someone a little bit less mobile than Mac Jones. So I think really the thing that's going to determine this is how significant his high ankle sprain is. If it is severe, it's something that surgery is certainly not out of the question for.
Definitely. And the Patriots' hope is that Mac won't need surgery. Of course, he and the team will consider all of his options. But if he does need surgery, like you mentioned, what could that look like? We've all heard about the tightrope procedure that first took shape at Alabama when Mac was there, but we're not sure what that surgery means as far as timeline.
Yeah, so surgery is done really for athletes who have a significant high ankle injury that's unstable. You never want an athlete to have surgery if they don't need it. And so that could be what was sort of taking a while for Mac and his medical team to make a decision. If he does go ahead and need a type of surgery, what they do is they basically go in and they stabilize the high ankle joint. Sometimes it's using a screw, sometimes it's using a wire, like you've heard the term tightrope. There are a few different products on the market that replace the screw. And the benefit of doing that surgery is that oftentimes you don't have to go back in and remove the hardware afterwards. It can stay in and help stabilize the ankle longer term.
Okay. According to a Sports Illustrated article on the tightrope surgery from 2019, less than half of the 32 NFL teams use the surgery. Why do you believe that is, and does it have anything to do with potential long-term effects?
Well, I think first of all, it's an older article, so I'm not sure if those numbers are still accurate, but the main question is if there's an athlete who has a significant high ankle sprain and he can come back to play just the same amount of time with or without the surgery, you're always going to choose not to operate on the athlete. So it might just be that there isn't as much of a need. We recently have seen some NFL athletes have that surgery and return, but again, their return is really predicated by how significant their injury was. So a milder injury, even with tightrope surgery, will be a faster recovery, maybe than a more severe injury and a more mobile player.
Yeah, I think it's also important to note that Mac Jones was kind of big on the surgery back in that article from 2019. He said, we've had guys that came back pretty fast, insanely fast. It's unbelievable. But Dr. Flynn, just like you said, these decisions take time. And when you're playing week to week in the NFL, you seemingly have a much tighter window to make a decision. How much time is typically needed to make that choice, especially if you're a starting quarterback in the league?
Well, I think if the ankle is completely unstable, the choice is pretty easy, right? There are cases where you just know that you need surgery. And so then it's a matter of deciding on who you're going to have operate on your ankle, where you're going to do recovery, all of that, right? But when there are these gray area decisions, they may want to say, let's see how the next few days go and how your ankle is recovering. Let's, collect our opinions from multiple docs around the country and then make a decision. So certainly I felt like at 26 hours after the injury, that was a little bit crazy of us to expect an answer. But I would expect in the coming days, we'd have a better idea.
Absolutely. And Mac Jones says as he's taking it day to day. And so that's what we'll have to do in the media and for the fan base as well. Dr. Jessica Flynn, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.